Hello everyone. Here I am. I'm a little bit late. Just tiny little bit. I am so sorry. I was trying to get some more information about another ice cube victim of at the end of last year. I want to know if the people who were responsible for her miscarriage were apprehended and are or have been prosecuted yet for the murder of her unborn child, because abortion was made illegal in the U.S. So if ice cubes drag a pregnant woman across the frozen, snowy road by one arm, after sitting on top of her while her entire neighborhood is screaming that she's pregnant, and she then loses her baby, that's murder, right? But as far as I can find, she was not white. And that's the reason that I don't know about it, I'm assuming. But I would like to know more about this woman. And whether the people responsible for that murder will be held accountable. I don't think so, I'm afraid. If I see what like Fox News and such are saying about Alex Brady, who was a white man. If anyone knows anything about the woman who was pregnant and lost her baby thanks to the ice cubes at the end of last year, could you please let me know her name so I can do a little bit of research? I wanna know. I just found out about that like half an hour ago, which is why I'm a little late. I tried to find it. I can't find any I saw the videos and I saw some people talk about it, but I can't find naturally what happened afterwards, because it seems like she was colored, so I'm not sure what her ethnicity was, but that doesn't matter for me, but it does matter for media. And I'm just it's curious how that wasn't. Why was that not reported on? If a woman who is brain dead is forced to carry to term, even though her heart is no longer beating, because that would be murder to let both die in peace. But ice cubes are allowed to sit on top and drag a pregnant woman through the streets. What if she is the one who is being prosecuted for murder? You know what I mean? If you look at what they're doing to Alex Brady and what they're saying about Renee Good, what happened to this woman? But I can't find any decent news or follow-ups, and that is very upsetting to me. So I'm sorry, I'm not. I'll get better. As in, my mood will probably lift as I temporarily forget about the madness, as I am going to read today. Thank God that it's Tuesday, so I can try to get some more progress in, because I haven't. I've read like 30 pages since Saturday, which is ridiculous for my standards. Oh gosh, I wrote her name wrong, I just noticed. Let me fix that real quick. So, yeah, that is what I was just doing. That's why I'm a little bit late. I'm so sorry. I hope everyone is being safe, and even if it's really hard, I hope we're all holding on to not lowering ourselves to these levels of sociopathy. Because I don't know, man. I really don't know. So thank you for being here. Hi 40, hi Garfield, hi Goat, and hi Garb. How was your morning been? Mine has been safe and privileged. I went to the forest in the morning with Winnie, and we had a good walk. I prepped dinner so I don't have to do that later. I can just go lie down a little bit, and then I'll have dinner. And I think I'm just gonna go to bed. I think I want to go to bed by 7 because I don't know. Hi, Dark. For me, everything is perfect. But perfect. I have no reason to complain. What about you? Is anyone joining me with a book today? I am reading Claire North's Ithaca because it's because I want to read it, but because it's a library book. Otherwise, I would probably read something else right now. But I have a few library books that I want to finish. I'm not sure when I have to bring them back. Actually, I should probably check that. Can I, or do I need my phone? Because I'm pretty sure I need my phone instead of looking over here. No, I can't see it here. No, it's not working. Why? Oh, I also forgot to to post a little timer on Instagram. I usually do that. I I need to configure my morning again. I heavily rely on routine. If I don't follow my routine or it gets disturbed in some way, I will forget vital things. And my routine consists of self-care things, right? So like having dinner, yoga, dressing. If I don't do them in a particular order, I start to panic and mess up. And I have to figure out how to switch the things that I used to do after stream to before stream. But I think that will be fine in a few days. It's just the first few days that will be a little bit unfortunate. Let me real quick. I'm so sorry. Yeah, today is the day I have to pin a comment. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna try to continue with the day and read. I won't go into the research that I want to do about this woman. But again, if you know anything about the woman who was attacked by the ice cubes at the end of last year, who was pregnant and lost her baby, could you tell her? Could you tell me her name, and or any other way I can try to follow up on that? I'll pin a comment ever. I think the lady you're looking for is Esther Lopez Sanchez. Thank you. Thank you, Dark. I'll see if that's. Yeah, I think this is it. Oh my God, no, this is a completely different story. No, she miscarried. This is a story about, well, story. This is the life of Esther Lopez Sanchez, who was arrested in Rutherford County. I think the woman I'm talking about was also in Minneapolis. Arrested, deputy while pregnant. Her charges were later dropped, but the damage was already done. While in custody, she went into labor, delivered her baby, and was then transferred to an ICE detention center without her newborn. If you know anything about psychology, you know that a baby will die if it does not get love, if it gets fed. Part of the bare minimum for the survival of a newborn is literally love and attention. If it doesn't get that they did a lot of unethical things in the beginning of psychology. We all know this. And they found that if you feed and take care of the physical things that a human needs, that the baby will still die if it does not receive love. This baby was taken from their mother literally moments after birth. The charges were dropped, and her child was taken into state custody. A mother cleared of criminal charges is sitting in immigration detention while her infant daughter is locked in bureaucratic limbo, not because of neglect, not because of abuse, but because of immigration status. A conservative analyst suggested the best interest of the child might mean foster care in the US, while the mother is deported. Think about that. A newborn separated from a loving, capable mother, not for safety, but for paperwork. This is not the woman I'm talking about. But this is why I want to know about this woman, of whom I saw a video an hour ago. Yeah, it isn't dark. That's why I kind of wanna find out and follow up. Because clearly we still haven't recovered and done something about the white woman syndrome. Because I know that indigenous women and little girls are being disappeared on a daily basis, and we don't hear anything about it. But when Gabby Petito disappeared, the whole world stood up to try and find her. And now I know that a lot of people are protesting and doing something about what is happening in Minneapolis in particular at this moment. But the discrepancy in empathy is still worrying. It still shows a divide. I opened Instagram honestly to post my timer for the stream. I post usually put a little quote in it and I have a timer. This is when we start stream. And the first thing I saw was that video. I really don't know, because I instantly went into research mode. And I just forgot to post the timer. Thank you for sharing this one, though. So just to be clear, abortion is murder, except when the government is the cause. You have the right to carry, and there have been fights over the right to carry for over 30 years, and children are allowed to die But when a man dares to legally carry his weapon, trying to protect a woman, he's murdered. And that's okay. And it's really worrying to see the mainstream media, that a lot of the people who are what they call the right, just so you know, there is no such thing. We're all people, left, right, has been invented for this purpose, for division. Yeah, one officer even removed the gun just before he got shot. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have seen the video over and over from every angle of Alex Preddy. And the audacity to say that Alex attacked the agents. Well, he literally had his back to them. And one important thing, we'll start a bit later because I was a little bit late. And what? Just thought you couldn't use an external USB webcam to your computer and an OBS programs with Twitch. I don't have tech, Adam. And I don't want to. I don't want to. I used to have that, but it was very stressful. Now this is also stressful, but this is Twitch's fault, not mine. This is just stupid. I'm just using the Twitch app on my phone because I do not have the tech to stream from my Mac or my other laptop. I used to. I still have the rest of my setup as well, like my like actual mic and stuff. But it was already very, 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 very laggy when I used my Lenovo a few years back. There was already like a 2-3 lag between chat and my response. So I can't imagine the lag now if I were to try it again. So this is truly my best way to stream as well. But Twitch effed up and now I have to deal with the consequences. I did come up with a sort of solution. We'll see if it works in a little bit. So it's really easy to start hating, right? Because you see this injustice, you hear the lies. US citizens are being treated the exact same as some other regimes do, and for which the US has invaded several times, as far as I know. I'm not up to date on all the history. And it reminds me a lot of an abusive relationship, what is happening, how it's being handled, how the lies that are being told, making the ice cubes the victims, saying that Alex came to the protest to intentionally massacre agents. while he was literally there to direct traffic because he was scared and upset about what happened to Renee Good. He wanted to prevent another Renee Good. He wanted to prevent that the streets got clogged up with cars. And it's really important to remember that we cannot lower ourselves to this level. And I would like to remind you of the Stanford prison experiment. Hi, Blue. Hope you're okay today. Who has seen either of the movies? There's one with Adrian Brody and one with Ezra Miller, who is not popular anymore. He's been cancelled, I understand. Has anyone seen either of those? Or are you familiar with the Stanford prison experiment? Who else is in the first one? I prefer, well, actually, I like both of them. In 2015, the newest was released, but there's also an older one with like Adrian Brody and stuff. Though I have to say, the newer one is more accurate because they used students, Stanford, and not adults. And in the older version, they used adults. You've heard of the Stanford prison experiment? Okay, so the Stanford prison experiment was at Stanford. It was highly unethical. And I'm going to say it in my own words, so if I have a detail wrong here or there, please excuse me. But in broad terms, what this professor wanted to do was create a prison setting using students. And there were two groups. One were the prison guards, and one were the prisoners. Now, none of these prisoners had actually done something, but they were to be treated like prisoners. They were not allowed to leave, and the guards, it was just really, really, they got uniforms, and the prisoners got like jumpsuits, I guess. They would be locked up, and the prisoners had full control over their care. The food, cleanliness, outside time. And the professor should have stopped the experiment like 2 days in. Because within days, both the prisoners and the guards completely lost their minds. The students who were pretending to be prisoners after a few days truly felt like a prisoner because they weren't allowed to leave. Even when they said, I can't do this anymore, what the hell is happening? These people who are given the guard position are going absolutely insane. Like actually punishing them, humiliating them. I think they even controlled with food, because that's a classic. Control your humans with food, or better, lack of food. Within days, the situation had escalated to the point that it was people were damaged. You should look it up, just the actual experiment if you don't want to watch the movie. They let it continue. That professor let it continue until people were almost murdering each other. Highly, highly unethical, but very valuable, because what did we learn from the Stanford prison experiment? That group mindset is very toxic. When there is one person who does not know how to behave with humanity, if there is one person who really wants to hurt others, who gets off on power and humiliating other people, there only has to be one. And the rest will follow. That is not to say that there are innocents, because at the end of the day, you do have a choice. It's an uncomfortable one, and it's a dangerous one to set yourself apart because we are social creatures. We don't want to, that meant death, right? When we were still hunter-gatherers, being separated, just like other animals that live in groups, being separated from society means a certain death. So even if you don't agree, too many people are not strong enough in their own identity to be able to stand up against that. And it's so much easier to go along with it. Because what if that evil person that is now still your friend turns against you? You know what they do. You know what they're capable of. So it's safer to go along. We have to remember that as well. Not that that is an excuse to be used in the future. One's accountability will be shoved into their throats. But we do have to remember that that is something that is happening. I've been thinking a lot about that experiment. Yeah, Blue. Yeah, it's so fascinating. Super unethical. But it laid bare a lot of stuff that makes the mentality of these ice cubes a lot more understandable, objectively. Personally, I am raging. Unfortunately, I know that white I may be, but I'm still a woman, so I will be labeled hysterical. I feel like men get the conspiracy theory, but women are hysterical if we try to convey a message with any kind of emotion. I'm thinking about that older man. He looked like Santa Claus dressed up as a civilian. A 70-year-old man screaming for them to stop. What are you doing? I'm 70 years old. I'm so angry. And people respond with, "Oh my God, look at that man. If he is responding like this, it must be bad." But if a woman were to do the same, the chances are that you get labeled hysterical. So I have to contain my anger. Otherwise people won't listen. It's very, very frustrating. In the video, it shows when one of the ice angels armed the guy on the ground, but he did not immediately inform the other angels on top of the guy, so the other angels thought he was still armed. Is that right? So, as far as I could see, Adam, there is a man in the gray jacket, and to his left is a man that moments before, well, it's literally 20 seconds. Within 20 seconds of Adam standing in, well, ice angel is there, the woman is on the floor. He does, "Stop, are you okay?" And then he's dragged away, right? He's on the floor, immediately 5 or 6, even though eventually it goes up to 8 agents against one man who is pressed to the floor. And because he is pressed on the floor, his shirt rides up, and then they notice his holster in the back while he has his hands on the floor. On the cold concrete, actually, because it was what, -20 over there, Celsius? Someone shouts gun, but the person in the gray who eventually takes the gun away from Alex is standing next to a person who just put his cap on his pepper spray. And if you look very carefully at that person, he has not only a straight, open vision on the back of Alex, he sees that man in the gray take out the gun. And then he starts to almost, skip around so he can get a shot in. He saw everything. He knew that the gun was not in his hands. He knew that the gun was already away. He is looking for an opening to shoot him. They didn't know he had a gun until he was face down on the fucking concrete. But even then, nothing about that. What happened after? One shot might have been arguable, but then he was dead by the time he hit the ground. There was nothing left. And instead of offering care they started looking for the gun because apparently not everyone realized that the gun was already gone. It's sickening. It's sickening. And now they try to tell people who just listened to Fox News that he was out to murder ice cubes. That's terrifying, because I know too many people who just watch the news, don't do research, and take it for truth. And you can't talk to those people. There's no way. It's a waste of breath. Oh yeah, he was pistol whipped, he was maced, and then he was shot to death. In broad daylight. But this is what they're doing, what the government over there is doing. That is the definition of gaslighting. Literally. I should know, I grew up with it. And it's triggering, it's upsetting. But to also know that there are women of color who knows what is going on inside those detention centers. One thing I haven't, on my list of things I need to look up, I need to know more about is endless, but I've also been made aware of a statement that may or may not be true. Maybe you can collaborate it. Yeah, that's true, Dirk, that's true. That apparently they have no responsibility for what happens inside detention centers. And this is specifically regarding grape. And abortion is illegal. I don't know. I really don't know. It's what Dark says is true. It's not saying that you can't argue with a fool because he's a fool. Well, actually, what I heard someone say is that, and I recognize this from abusive situations and being raised by someone who used these tactics. A lot of these people in high places delight in hurting you. They know they're lying. They know what they're saying isn't true, but that's the point. They want you to get upset, because when you get upset, they have ammunition. Why are you being this aggressive? Why are you screaming at me? I am being logical. I'm being polite. That's the point. They want escalation, because then they can use that. Listen to the words they're saying, because everything they're saying is what they're doing. They're giving themselves away because that's at the forefront of their mind. But don't be fooled by their audacity. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know that they're lying. They all saw the same video. That's not the point. Feeling insane is the point. The cruelty is the point. Just like allowing your agents to murder an unborn baby, because that is what it is in America, because abortion is illegal, abortion is murder. That law, that overturning of that law was never about abortion or life. It was about control. Just like what we're seeing right now. It was never about color of skin. was never about immigration status. It was about control. It always was. And it's difficult because just like I am raging, you over there, I can't even imagine the strength it takes to not retaliate in kind, because that would validate their own actions. If we start behaving like they do, that validates their actions. It's such a catch-22, I feel like. Problem I see developing is that ICE may have been reluctant at first to shoot, but after 2 times of getting the response from the Trump administration that they were justified shooting and will be protected, then ICE will be quicker to shoot now, knowing they will have the full support of the Trump MAGAs. Yeah. If they can get away with killing white people, oh my God. If you are a person of color right now, it doesn't matter how many generations have already been living in the United States. You are not safe, not anywhere, because I've also read that there was a federal something that goes over a regular law that states that they are now allowed to break down doors. They're not, but they're doing it anyway. They have some kind of paper that isn't actually legal, but they're pretending it to be legal, pretending that it's legal, that allows them to break down doors if they have a suspicion and pull people out of their beds. You're not even safe in your own home anymore. And yeah, Blue, that is exactly what is happening. They're wearing masks already, so they're already pretty safe. But these two things, the lines that have been crossed, it's terrifying, because I don't know if anyone noticed, but for me, as someone who lives in the Netherlands, what I have perceived in the last decade or two is that the Netherlands is just a few years behind on what happens in America, because I know I was only 2 or 3 years old, but we had free healthcare when I was born. Free. Yes, taxes, yes, I understand. But every person had free healthcare. There was no own risk. There were no premiums of 150, 200 euros that gives you, what, two physio exams and maybe one picture for a broken bone, and then what? We had free healthcare. We had free schooling. Now it's all loans. It used to be, when I was a teen, that if you got your diploma, you get it's free. You don't have to pay your student debt. Gone. We are becoming America, so this is terrifying. If you think that this is just America, you're wrong. The world leaders want to be like America so badly, even though, I don't know. Hi Millie. Hi Luke. Hi Wisdom. Hi Riku. Hello. I'm so sorry. But I can't not talk about this. This is the real world. And yes, in about 8 minutes, I'll do what I have to do, because that is important. Staying alive, doing the things that it's just a matter of time that it spreads to the rest of the world, if we don't pay attention. Oh, it's an administrative warrant instead of a judicial one, but you still don't have to, or shouldn't, open the door, right? I heard. I mean, it's so much to process. It's so much to process that I'm not entirely sure of details all the time, but. No, Luke. No, they're not. They're not. Because, in case you don't know, ICE does not. ICE is supposed to do paperwork at the border. ICE does not actually arrest people, or they shouldn't. What they actually do is take processed and thus known criminals, because they've been processed, they have been arrested, out of prison. You can't take someone off the street. Because if they're illegal, where's the paperwork? How do you know? What crimes? It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. It's all a big lie. And because people are not informed about the way it's supposed to go, and then the White House lies. Oh, like, I can't even imagine being so bold. I can barely lie about I can barely lie to begin with. It makes me uncomfortable. And you'll notice it's almost impressive. Almost impressive. You know what I mean, wisdom? You know what I mean? It was incorporated in taxes, and you didn't have to pay your own risk. It wasn't my own risk that I was born with bad eyes. How is that my own risk? Give me freaking glasses so I can be productive in society. But no, condoms are free, but the pill isn't. No, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. And again, it was free. Healthcare was free. Hi, Scraticus. Good morning. It's very, yeah. See, I knew it. I knew it. It's not the same. They look very similar. The warrants, but they're not the same. But who knows? You know. Their human conditions always comes into play. Ice vets of any kind, they're little Napoleons, small people who think they're massive. They take the permission to shoot a standard at federal level as a message that they can shoot at will are being dealt with. Whenever a little tyrant says with a mark, their boss gets the blame. Similarly, in any field of work, the new FBI enabled ICE as a few of these Napoleons, they're getting reeled in. I don't know. I hope so. I really hope you're right, Wisdom, because I don't know about that. They're a gang. Yes, they're a gang. They behave like a gang. They jump around like a gang. It's dragging pregnant women by one arm over down the street. What? Yeah, the old world, or Drell, only with and Bell managed highly employed population attack system was quite literally hijacked and stolen by globalists and their lawyers. Yeah. And there's a few more things that changed in my lifetime and no one talked about it. And I was like, what? They're making us pay double now, but they're spinning it so brilliantly. They paid some marketing dude so well that you think that you're gonna pay less, but actually, it's double. And no one notices. And it's infuriating, because if you try to talk, what if you try, when you try to talk to people, they don't think critically. They just parrot what they hear on big media news, which, by the way, especially in America, do you know that Trump is buying everything up? You know where else the government owns the media, huh? Like, you know what where else they do that, huh? And lie like this, and kill people on the streets. I'll let you guess, or do your own research. I think that would be better, because I can say whatever I want. You're gonna believe what you want to believe. You'll have to find it out for yourself. But if people don't even want to believe literal video evidence of 18 different angles, I am not going to waste my time on that. I'm so sorry. I really, really hope that you stay safe and that you won't learn the hard way what is happening. I really hope that. I really hope that things become safe again before those who can't see with what happened with Alex Preddy. I really hope you don't learn the hard way. Blue, yeah, yeah, and a little bit more to the east as well. The big one. There's a wall and stuff. I'm laughing because I want to cry. Hi, Loop. Right, listen, people. No, I'm talking about the color of your name and the wall, and a little bit more to the east, where people have no can't even say things on the internet because they're being censored. Which, by the way, TikTok was bought by the U.S. What do you think is happening? Do your own research, people. I can tell you what I know, but I had to find out for myself as well, because I like to be sure. I like to be sure, even if it's true, even if I've heard it from other sources, I will still want to check for myself. Corroborate things with at least 2 or 3 sources. The Great Wall of Millie. There is no government. The nations were literally sold. Government was replaced with a board of corporate policy directors. The policies are derived from WEF meetings. Look at the CV resume of your elected officials. They're all really. See, I don't like politics because it's about friends. It's about who you know and how much money you have. That has always been my feeling. Like even when I was a kid, I love debates. I love the honest, civilized debates are amazing, but only if people behave, which is seemingly impossible these days. All right, Larry Ellison, he's not government, he's a global corporate director, but he's American, right? Exactly, Loop. That's the one. That's the one I'm talking about. Just so you know, to me, it looks like these 2 places in the world are pretty much the same at the moment, and that's not good. that's, I don't recommend it, but I have nothing to say. I am no one. I am just a silly girl who has a mirrored stream on Twitch, which she is not able to turn back because it's not her fault. It's Twitch. So let's go. I'm going to mute myself. You can turn your own music. I'm going to read because I need to decompress. I am upset. I am angry. I am very sad and depressed and scared for all the women in the world and the men who try to protect them. But alas, I'm pretty powerless. This is all I can do. So, you don't have to be here, Luke. You can just leave. They have doubled the number of cubes in a year, so the majority of them aren't trained properly. You can see it in the way they approach everything. They punch up. They're in each other's line of fire. There's no knowledge of de-escalation. That's not their point. They want escalation because that gives them permission to do more harm. That's why it's so important to not give in to violence and hate. Sing and dance and make music, and don't allow yourself to be pulled to their level. It's not worth it. All right, I am reading Ithaca by Claire North. If you're also joining me with a book, let me know what you're reading. You don't have to, though. You can do whatever you need or want or should do, which could also mean just being alive. It's a full-time job and quite dangerous these days, so breathe. Drink water. Mind? I didn't flip it. I can't flip it because I'm using the Twitch Watch app. There is no setting. It's Twitch. And Twitch says it's my Wi-Fi. So I'm going to mute myself. I will see you in 30 minutes. Good luck. And please choose love. Thank you. Last minute. All right, we're taking a 10-minute break. Uh, what happened just now? Who said that? Let me see. Hi, Storm. Hold on. Just Graticus. Oh my gosh, that almost made me choke. Um, I have two cats, one of which is a orange baby bean, little baby boy bean. Winston. So this is a sort of co-working stream. On Tuesday I read. On Monday and Wednesday I do other things. Lately I've been working on my pretty new YouTube channel. And I mute myself so you actually are able to focus. We have sprints, we have power hours. And aside from me not always being able to not say what is, see, I can't actually see what you see because chat is in the way, and I don't know how to remove chat from that screen. Winnie. So if you see me talking that way, is usually one of the cats, most likely Winston, who is jealous, who doesn't like it when he doesn't get all the attention in the world. So you know he has to be a little bit of a baby sometimes. So I'm sorry about that, but yeah, Miss Shadow, I was giving the look to my baby Bean because he's currently looking for trouble. Winnie, why? What has gotten into you? I think he has difficult zoomies. He has very difficult zoomies because it's not like running zoomies, but more like I'm stuck in place and I don't know what decision I'm gonna make. Please don't, don't do it. Okay, so can you see what is happening? I don't know. I think you can see. Okay, my camera has been mirrored since last week for no apparent reason. I don't touch settings. I have no setup. I have a phone. I have the Twitch app on which you can also watch if you use the app, and if you stream in real life. There is no way you can change the settings of your camera or your audio. Nothing. So I didn't do it. I can't turn it back. And Twitch says it's my Wi-Fi. So I am on it, all right? What are you doing? No, no, this makes no sense. This makes no sense. Why? Listen. Oh my God, hold on. He's a bit suicidal today, I think. What the hell? Oh my God. Sorry. He has zoomies. I don't know why. I really don't know what just happened. But out of nowhere, he's just. Winnie, don't give me airplane ears. Do you behave? Please behave. My other cat just came cowering underneath my skirt because she's terrified. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to introduce myself. Can I please have a moment? I can't. I have no word here. Anyway, we are sort of, this is why I mute myself, not just because in general I feel like it would be quite distracting if I try to motivate you to be productive, which is anything from literally staying alive if you have like a disability or just a bad day, to work, school, hobby, practicing an instrument, whatever it is you need to do. This space is kind of to help you with that so you don't feel quite as alone. There's this concept called body doubling, which is very useful for a lot of people. And for me, it's helpful because I do get things done. Not always, but most of the time I get a few things done. And on Sundays we have just chatting streams, just so we just check in and we chat a little bit about what's happening in the world. It hasn't been that happy lately, unfortunately. But yeah, that's why I mute myself, so you don't get distracted by my chaos. I'm so sorry. I hope everyone is doing okay. The orange has been activated. Yeah, like actually, it's cute, but also please. I think it's because he was trying to climb into the curtains, which he hasn't done in like a year. But I think it's because I washed them, so they smell new. I think that's what, and he noticed it just now. And I tried to help him, like, smell here. It's just a curtain, and then he went berserk. Hi, Avgas, how are you doing? And thank you for the follows. Money lives in Brazil. Oh gosh. Money lives in the Netherlands. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. And Miss Shadow. Thank you so much for the follow. You've been writing. What are you writing? Can we know? Are we allowed to? We have sprints, we have firearms, and we have the occasional spunks. Yes, this is true, Wisdom. This is true. She is over there. She might just join us in a little bit. But she's a bit scared of Winston when he gets like this. Because there's really no... We just have to... Usually we both stand like against a wall or in a corner just to wait it out until he's done. Mad orange kitten. I'm considering buying a cloud code subscription, which I think is a good idea to quickly develop some tool ideas. I have to expand my heavily procrastinated portfolio, but I know I'm not going to develop to dev today. To dev? What is that? Do it today? I think that is a good idea, Scraticus. I know that you have a lot of ideas and that you are very ambitious and you've got it in you. And yes, in this way, you should absolutely, especially if it helps if you have the pressure of money spent. I think that might help with the procrastination part. I do, Shadow, but not anymore for publication. And when I did, I was a ghostwriter. But I write for myself, mostly meditative, to try and make sense of what is happening in the world. It helps a little bit. It's a bit much this year, but I usually try to write my thoughts and feelings and experiences of the day down at the end of the day, so I can tell myself, all right, now we're not going to think about it anymore. We're going to sleep. Now, it doesn't always work, but it does help a little bit with processing. Winston be like, yeah, exactly, really. Like, you should have seen him jump. He jumped really weird. Weird cat. I'll take a break from my bills to see if I can save some money, but if coding doesn't come back, I'll just have to suck up the cost. That doesn't sound right. That sounds awful. That shouldn't be a choice. I'm so sorry, Scraticus. Only reason I haven't signed up. It's in person and the trams are frozen? Oh, that's not ideal either. I've heard that I've seen on the news that in the Scandinavian countries, it's beautiful. There's a lot of snow, and I'm very jealous. You wash curtains in catnip? You would think, Tiger. But well, anyone who has cats or maybe dogs do that. Well, I'm not sure actually because I don't remember our dogs doing that. But Sundays I change the sheets of my bed, and that is usually also playtime with the sheets. Just you know, flapping up the blankets and Winston. Toulouse isn't very interested, my other cat, but Winston is the orange baby bean. I mean, he's turning 2 this year, but still, he will get zoomies on the bed and you know, wrestle with the sheets. And my first cat, Bo, did that as well. She went berserk for clean sheets. She loves it, and I think that's what he's doing now with the curtains, because they do smell nice, I have to say. But he wants to rub his face on it. He shouldn't do that though, because I have rent friendly curtain rods that you just press between. It's like a shower curtain rod, like that, but a little bit stronger to hold up my curtains. So, yeah, I would rather he doesn't, break down the entire house. Make sure to let me know when America makes sense to you. Honestly, if it does, please call, please let me be committed involuntarily because that's not okay. Yeah, no, no, actually, it does make sense, but not in the way that you want it to. It makes sense if you're a sociopath. It does make sense if you're addicted to money and power. It does make sense, but that doesn't mean that it's actually logical. If that makes sense. Idiot image aren't considered essential, so I have to suck it up the cost to get them privately. Jesus, I'm sorry, I did not realize you were there. This is Toulouse. You want spanks? Shall we show them what we mean when I have a cat that likes to be spanked? We're just hiding for instance. See if this is what I spanks. Let's go. Let's go. Did I turn on the timer? Oh yes. Okay. Well, real quick, I will be muting myself in just a little bit, and we will go into a power hour. The point of which is to try and practice flow. Um, yeah, good. And it's a practice, keyword practice. A full hour is really a lot, but it's not about the full hour. Eventually, you may be able to focus for a full hour or even longer if you wish to. But the point of this is really to learn to get back to it, to notice that you've lost your focus and that you get back to it and start again. Because once you are in motion, you will find it is very hard to stop. So let's get to it. I will be muting myself so you don't hear me chase my cats if necessary. And I will be reading a book. Let me know what you're up to. Who needs drums? We have a cat. Exactly, Carb. Do you know how strong my arms get from this shit? All right, I'll shut up. I'm going to make some more tea. Let me know what you're up to. Keep each other company in chat if that is what you feel like you need or want today. Millie, you did. I thought I hallucinated it. Where is it? I could have sworn I saw it, and then I went to respond. I could not find it. Oh, I saw it, but I imagined it. I couldn't find it anymore. Please let me know where it is, and I will respond because oh, I'm gonna shut up. All right. This is why I need to be muted. I'll see you in an hour. Good luck. last moments, sorry. That is going to be it for today. Give me a moment. I found an article about the pregnant lady, but I can't find her name. Yeah. One of the most painful things about the whole situation in Minneapolis is that it seems to me that the police force has been trying very hard. No name, so I can't. So I can't follow up. So the reason I know she miscarried is because there were a lot of people who actually know her, who said it. People who were visible in the original video from her neighborhood. It's so sad to see that the police chief of Minneapolis is training the police to de-escalate and to have this happen. It's so sad. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll leave this open, and I'll find a little bit more about it. I just want to know if they followed up because, as far as I understand it, a miscarriage is murder in the United States, right? As the laws are now, isn't that murder? Hello, I want to unpin. I mean, I'm focused, but wait, unpin. Yes, unpin. Well, Millie, this was from a while ago, and I was surprised that there wasn't more noise about this. But now I've skimmed a few articles, and I guess I understand. But I won't go into it too much now because I don't want to make you sad. It is a what? I don't know what that means. Well, mind the thing is, as a woman, you can't prove when you miscarriage. This is why it has been such a sickening debate. As a woman, you can't prove that you didn't have an abortion. So if you miscarry, if they want to, and they do, otherwise you wouldn't make it illegal in the first place, you can be prosecuted for miscarriage. But in this case, I'm talking about a video I was confronted with this morning of a woman who was pregnant and who was dragged across the street by one arm after an agent sat on her back as everyone surrounding that moment, which was quite a crowd, kept yelling, "She is pregnant." And she later miscarried. She was also released without charges because they had no reason to do what they did to her, aside from probably feeling like she offended them, which is by no means ever a reason to get upset as a person with a position of power. You shouldn't have an ego to get upset. If you are in power, you should be above that. But if abortion is murder, then this should be murder too. If a woman is attacked by men and she then miscarries because she was dragged across the street and a full-grown man sat on her back as she was face down in the snow. So I feel like those people should be arrested for murder, or at least manslaughter. That's what my logic says. But then again, Alex Preddy was also, you know, shot because he was carrying legally. My God, I'm so sorry if you live in the US. I'm so sorry. I cannot imagine how it must feel like to actually have to deal with this cognitive dissonance that those people are absolutely convinced is right. And I don't want it to make sense. It doesn't. I mean, for them, I get it, why it makes sense. Something is a bit wrong. And if a doctor does something to save a woman that kills the baby, then they consider it murder too. Yeah, exactly. That's why this is such an interesting story. Like, why is there no follow-up? Well, she's not white. So why, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, she shouldn't have been there, something is discussing like that. They'll say, yeah, if there's no signs of intentional drug abuse, then there's no reason to question a miscarriage. There are paper trails and witnesses to account for in such an investigation. Oh, wisdom, do you know that there are children being taken away from their parents after, literally directly after birth, because there's drugs found in the systems of the babies that were given to the mother during the birth, because that is what happens. You get an epidural or you get some other cocktail that contains ketamine. I don't know the name of it, but there's a cocktail of painkillers that contains ketamine. So the doctors give the mother that is giving birth, actively giving birth, drugs. She gives birth. The baby is tested. Oh, drugs! Into the system. The same doctors. So, you understand the clash in my brain? Yeah, this happened. This happened so many times with colored people. That's why you don't hear about it. Colored people. Or, if they are white, people who do have a history of, but are not currently using. It's so much more messed up than you are told unless you actively look at stories from real people. So I wish that was true. But there are paper trails of this. The woman gets epidural, so there's now ketamine, a little bit ketamine in the system. I think it was ketamine because that is they use it on horses as well, They administer it themselves. And still the babies get taken away. Literally after birth, the most critical moment of a baby's life. Skin to skin moment. Touch. More important even than food for a baby is physical touch and love. You can look it up. They did experiments. A baby will die if it doesn't get touched. I think they recreated this with monkeys. So they had a baby monkey and they had a robot that had fur but no food, and a robot that had no fur but food. Where do you think the monkey died? Not with the food, with the fur. Hungry with the food right next to it. So if you're wondering why I, as a non-US citizen, am worried about this, because the US is supposed to be the civilized, on top of the world, best country that everyone should follow. And the Netherlands has done so for a while already. In my lifetime, I have seen, with a delay, things become American when it comes to laws, when it comes to behavior, when it comes to media. So what is happening right there? Oh, even if I believed in countries, which I don't, we're human, and even if I had the belief that matters, it is still a woman. And I am a woman. I care because I would hope, I would pray that she would care about me too. And if she doesn't, then I hope that my example will have some kind of effect. If it's only 1 or 2 people, that would be fine with me. But that is why I can't ignore it. A lot of countries want to be America. And that is not great. If abortion, it was never about pro-life, it was about control. Oh, wisdom. Ketamine is also used. In America even more so, but it's not just for vets. I think. It's a whole cocktail. In the US, you get insane meds just to begin with. I don't think I could even take like the most basic, lowest of low, over-the-counter stuff, because what we get in the Netherlands or the EU in general is so not strong. But I think the cocktail of I'm assuming it's the epidural painkillers that they give a mother that is in pain during birth, that contains ketamine. It's not 100% ketamine. I think it was ketamine. Either way, it's a drug that gets flagged, and your child will be taken away by CPS. Is it CPS? No, I don't know what it's called actually. So it's not about the Maslow's pyramid model sort of includes the mother touch, but at the same time it doesn't. The system is currently working off of the Maslow model. It will evolve. I hope so, because I think spiritual actualization is like on the top, but I feel like that should not be on top. I guess it is only possible in a vacuum, maybe, but yeah, it should be changed. Like the food thingy is changed as well, right? Because it turns out that was not really ideal either. It takes a long time to inject emotional content into a logic tree. Business and law don't work off of emotion, but emotional content does tend to evolve their models. Just like that's true. That was what Mater 210 was about. The book about Huang Sokyong. Mater 210 is the name of a train that was used during the 20s, 30s, 40s, I think. And that book is about Korean railroad workers. I hate saying that. And you follow 3 generations of railroad workers and their struggle to be treated like humans. Decent pay, not 14 hours a day working and not being locked up outside of work because they weren't allowed to even leave their dormitories, I think only on Sunday or something. Food, 3 generations. And it's so depressing to read that book because you're like, oh dear, nothing's going to change. But it does. It's just that it's gonna take some time. It's good. Yeah, I know. I hate it. I hate it. Railroad. Or woke, yes. Yeah, no, Korean. Oh, I think it's in my library bag. I don't want to go there. 40 hours a day. Yeah, Emily. Will Wood. No, it's really serious. It's a good book, but yeah, it's true, and that is why it's so important to keep talking. I know it's exhausting, and I know it's annoying, but you know what is even more annoying? Being the people who should be protected and are not. That is a lot more annoying. A lot more annoying is being a 5-year-old being used as a lure for your parents. And now you're in a detention center as a 5-year-old. Why? Why? Hi, Andy. So please don't get, well, let me put it like this. Don't look away, but take care of yourself. If it gets too much, if you feel like you're starting to get apathetic, step away and find something to remind you of life. That can be anything. I don't know what gives you joy, but I have been spending a lot more time hugging trees, pretty literally, going out, not just to touch grass because I have that outside my window, but actually away from society and just breathing fresh air in the forest. That has been a great help for me. For you, it could be watching your favorite movie, making music, going out for a drink. But don't get apathetic, all right? Don't look away. Because there is going to be a moment that we can't any longer if we do. And I know that's uncomfortable, and I know it's very annoying that people keep talking about this stuff. But the people who are in it can't either. And if we don't protect them, if we don't speak up for them, who will speak up for us? And I know it's horrible. I know. I'm exhausted too. It's the beginning of the year and I'm already done. But would you not want to be saved? Would you not want people to speak up for you when you have been silenced? Would you not want people to save you when you are face down on the concrete for using your voice, for having a camera in your hands? Also take time for my own mental health. Yeah, exactly, Millie. Don't look away, but make sure you don't exhaust yourself. It is so important to invest in love, in kindness, in the things that give you joy. And I know that sometimes that gives guilt. Like this space is, like I couldn't do this if I didn't allow myself to speak about this, right? But I'm also trying to continue because that is what we need to do. We need to not only remind ourselves, but show the world. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much you hate. It doesn't matter how much you gaslight. We know what love means. We know what kindness means. And we know what it means to take care of each other. And what it means to be alive. So have a drink with your friends. Don't feel guilty. Understand that that is what we're fighting for. We're fighting for those moments. We're fighting to feel alive. Fight where you can, how you can, whether that is physical or by sharing, making art, making music, talking with people who are misinformed, whatever your part in this story is, and you do have a part, and maybe it's just being a witness and not looking away. Do both. Okay? For a little while, I was way too submerged in all of the misery going on in the world. Me too, Millie. Yeah. And it's important to feel it, but we can't drown. Don't let them win by destroying ourselves, right? Resistance takes many shapes and forms. It's not just screaming on the streets. It is making art. It is helping your neighbor. It is smiling to a stranger. That is also a core part of resistance and protesting. Doing the opposite. Showing that they can't stop you from being a human, an actual human. So that's what we'll do. The psyop, oh God, wisdom. What do you mean? Only thinking about those things doesn't help anybody. No, it doesn't. But the thing is, it's overwhelming. And if you try to, because this is also something that I did, if you try to just ignore it and just pretend that it isn't there, once you know, it's in the back of your mind and it's going to fester. It's going to fester, there's going to be pus and it's going to ooze and it's going to come out anyway. Either because you're forced from within or because it comes to you from outside. You can't run away from this. I wish I could. So if you're overwhelmed, like after I heard about Alex Preddy, I really haven't been able to read. I've tried because it's important, but I also felt, okay, so maybe I just need to stare at nothing for maybe an hour or two. Just sit and feel. Use it as fuel. Don't lower to that level. Use love and kindness. I know that is so hard, but don't fall into the trap of trying to fight fire with fire, because that will give them double the ammunition than they have now. If they can use your own behavior against you, then it becomes too muddy. We don't want that. We are not like that. And maybe they are not even like that. Maybe they've been so brainwashed that they don't really realize what's going on. That is also a possibility. Not for everyone. Certainly not for those who are absolutely at the top. I don't believe for a moment they don't know what they're doing. But those below them just might not completely realize the mess they're making. We should keep that possibility there. Okay? There are many traps for fire exits. What do you mean? Oh, I had a short video of the general threat in Discord. I will watch it. Hi Shrek, hi Gabriel, thank you. I mean, I wish they weren't necessary. So going through something and people are just saying that it's going to be there tomorrow and it's never going to be better. Going through something and people are just saying that it's going to be there tomorrow and it's never going to be better. What do you mean, Shrek? As in the state of the world? I mean, yes, but we do keep each other in mind. So don't be mean. Not even to yourself. Choose your words. I don't know where you're going with this. So, like, if I have something negative to say, I can also say it in a way that is more likely to be received, not in a defensive way, if that makes any sense. It's never going to be better. If it's about the state of the world, you know what? People used to tell me that, adults used to say, oh, well, with that attitude, you won't. That's exactly what they're doing now. Well, it's just the way it is, and it's on the other side of the world. What are you going to do? I don't know, anything? Something? If I don't do anything, no, nothing's going to change. That's for sure. Our problems, like what I'm saying. What I just said, Riku, like, no, yeah, that's true. If we don't do anything, those people who have no conscience and who delight in our pain and frustration as we try to make sense with words while they have disregarded every sense of honor and honesty and truth, make your own world magical. Eventually, our shared magical worlds make the big world better. Yes, I love you too, Wisdom. That is exactly what's happening, Shrek. Why are you having a hard time? I hope you know that it's valid. All feelings are valid, even if afterwards you feel a little silly. Even if you think that the reason you got upset is maybe not exactly enough to be upset in the moment. If you are upset, you're upset. And that's valid. Svinge! Hi, hello, how are you doing? Oh gosh, I completely forgot to say welcome to Naival Taigero Bokop? I feel like the inflection is probably wrong. Can I call you Robo? Because I'm afraid to call you just cop. That might be taken the wrong way. It has been. It has been Spinge. How are you doing? Are you safe? Are you okay? Are you taking care of yourself? And also a craft Fetty. That's a very original name. Thank you so much for the follows, everyone. Welcome in. I hope you're taking good care of yourself. Let's take a sip of water. Oh. Oh, I'm so confused about the mirrored situation. Um, um, I'm good. How have you been? I'm hanging in there. But so far, I seem to be in a position of privilege still. So, I don't know. I don't know. People are just saying that it's going to be there tomorrow and it's never going to be better. I just... So, Shrek, are you talking about the state of the world? Is this something personal? Like a disability or something? Maybe that alone can kind of give me a direction. But I feel like, look, if you're not hurting yourself actively, because I know that sometimes we do things that are like living off of pizza, something I've been guilty of, not good. But in the moment, it's a mental health pizza, and it helps me survive, right? So I'm not sure what scenarios you mean, but your feelings are valid, okay? Your feelings are valid. And no one knows how others experience or perceive, not really, things that happen, scenarios. And there are quite a lot of people who seem to have some trouble with understanding what it means to imagine what it would be like for them to be in a situation that they are confronted with someone else. Say, the state in the United States, people will say that will never happen to me if they're living there, or if they're living on this side of the ocean, they'll say, well, it's in America, so why would I care? So if you feel, according to society, too much, it could be that they're just completely unable to. That's okay, Shrek. That's okay. Words are difficult. That, you don't have to say sorry for that, but it's nice to understand. Sphinx, just send it over here. I would like to have the snow. I wouldn't mind. So for those people, if say like I mean, I'm autistic, so I get meltdowns about things that seem silly, but what I am unable to explain in that moment, that it's not about that thing. It's about what happens in my brain, because now the situation has been extrapolated into the future, and because pattern recognition is something that a lot of autistic people do very accurately, you're not believed in the moment. But then it comes true, and then they have already forgotten that you said it. So there is no way that you can win when you have been deemed as feeling too much because you care, right? This is just an example. I don't know if this is the case, that this is why people are saying that to you, but it's just an unfortunate reality that a lot of people, if they have not experienced it, if they are not able to feel empathy, for example, for innocent people who are being dragged down the street for no reason other than they're filming because that is their right, for example. There are too many people still who have a complete inability of, it's not even empathy, it's just imagining someone else's position. I don't think it's even empathy. You got a problem with living off pizza? No, I don't, Finch. I don't, but my body does. It's not healthy. I do sometimes. But it's not healthy on the long term, is it? I don't think so. Be careful, Millie. Be careful. Poco Yulp. X. I do. Can I call you? I feel like Poco is a bit of a. Is that a slur? Oh gosh. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Tell me what you want me to do with your name, because I'm at a loss. If pizza has healthy ingredients, it's fine, right? Didn't America once say pizza was a vegetable? wasn't that America? Yeah, actually, if you make pizza yourself, it's not even that bad. It's just if you order it, there's like bad stuff in there. But if you make it yourself, I'm starting to get really hungry. I have pasta tonight though, so also Italian, but not pizza. Your therapy is music. Shrek, that is beautiful. Music is also one of those core components of life. Where would we be without music? Music connects people, and it's a language that everyone speaks. Some are a little bit tone deaf, but they still know, you know. Yes, Loop, exactly. But just put pineapple on it. I hate that people hate pineapple on pizza, but I am a purist as well, so I can't say anything. Pizza is vegetable for tax purposes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's not even a joke. For me, the most disheartening thing is that we don't learn from history. Many people aren't interested in looking further back than their grandparents. If that, it is definitely important for us to try and improve society, not impose our will on society. Even if you think you can't do anything directly, you might inspire someone who can do something. Yeah, Dark. I agree with that. You never know. You never know who looks up to you. You never know who sees you, who witnesses you doing something completely out of the good of your heart and not because you want something. You never know. Alice has started making pizzas for our D&D days. Oh, that's great! We have played 8 seasons, sessions, and it has become a crutch for all our mental health. I think it's so fulfilling. 11 days until the next session. Oh, it'll be over before you know it, because I feel like you're gonna get. I'm losing words. What you just told me about the tool, I think that will put you in motion. And once I feel like you're someone who, once they're in motion, you're off. Pizza Hut is supposed to be the most healthiest pizza place. I believe that. But that's so good. Unhealthy pizza is so good. Making it yourself is great, but it's like if you're Dutch, you know, if you get fries from the snack bar, it's just better. It's just better. You can do the exact same thing at home, and it will still taste like not the same. Pizza takes practice, I feel like, but you can't really do anything with fries. It's the same thing with biscuits and cakes. One is taxed more than the other. Oh my god! That's ridiculous! Is a Jaffa cake a cake? Well, is it? She makes the bases so well. It's fantastic. Oh my god, Alice is my girl. I used to do that as well. I haven't done that in ages. I used to do that as well. But, you know, I'm alone. And I would eat all of it, and that's really not okay. I should really start doing it again. That's amazing. I love that. And see, mental health pizza. It's a thing. It's a thing. Told you. Oh no, I don't know what it's called. Oh no, never mind, never mind. Yes, I am Kirill. I'm very Dutch. Well, by blood, I'm not completely Dutch, but I'm Dutch. They say. I don't know, Veronica. Just a little birdie. A little birdie told me. So those 11 days will be over before you know it. You've never tried pineapple on pizza. I'm missing out. Oh, Shrek, I would be careful. I would be careful. There are places in the world where you would be honored to say to be able to say that, because it's a bit of a controversy. Oh, I'm really losing my words. All right. If you eat pineapple on pizza, especially Italian people will get really pissed off. That was my gateway drug. I used to eat pizza with when I still ate meat as well, with ham and pineapple. These days it's just classic margarita. If you do it well, nothing more. You'd eat absolutely nothing more. Oh no, Riku! It is though. Pineapple is quite nice. I also eat pineapple with my chili. I have to go. I'm salivating like crazy. Pineapple with my chili because it's sweet and cold. So I have very hot chili con veggie. Not, I don't even know the word for meat anymore. But I have a bite of the chili with rice and then also a little bit of pineapple. It's great. You should try it. I actually had really good grounds for that in court. Were you familiar with their defense? Oh my god, are you kidding me? I mean, lawyers are supposed to do that. They can make a good if you're a good lawyer, you can spin anything. Hi Daniel, by blood. Oh my god, I already forgot what I said. But yes. And by heart. I'm convinced the only reason people don't like pineapple on pizza is because they are expecting regular pizza. What even is regular pizza flavor? Wait. What does it mean? What does that mean? Margarita? That's stupid. If that's the truth, and I believe you, Finch, because people are silly these days. People are really silly, and I would advise you to go check your blood, because it's very possible that you've been poisoned by lead. But hey, what do I know? Something worth looking into, though. Many cheese. Many cheese. There's a balance. You have to balance it out. Too much cheese is great for like 3 bites. And then you're like, I could use some tomato. I'm eating spaghetti tonight. I already have the sauce. What food has lead in it? Oh, Shrek. Oh, no. A lot. Go look for... Is it everything lead? Eric or Eric everything lead? I think it's everything lead Eric. Either way, you look him up on Instagram. That's why I know this. But basically, the whole world is kind of infected with lead because we used to use lead-based gas. What is it? No, oil. What do you use in cars? I don't have a driver's license. Lead-based stuff in your car to make it go. And there was lead in paint. There it was and still is, even though it's not allowed. Lead in the pretty colors on like plates and mugs and stuff. There's still lead in there. Thank you, Blue. I'm such an idiot sometimes. Thank you. So you have to look into it. But there's a lot of lead, and especially the generation before, or two generations before millennials, were, and even I was still in the time period that cars were just, puffing out lead the whole day. And that was, it got into the soil. There are places in the world where it's worse than others, but pretty much everywhere on Earth there is still lead in the system. This is not a naturally occurring thing. This is what humans caused, and because it's in the soil, it gets into your food. It just gets in your food. It's, if you're interested, you could go down a rabbit hole about lead poisoning, and you could potentially find reasons for the madness, especially in the US, and especially with a certain generation. It makes a lot of sense. I use barbecues as a plastic mirror. Whatever you do, so whatever works for you, Swinge. There's nothing wrong with that. Balance many cheese. uh, but that is also why I used to, as a kid, when we went to get gas, I used to open the window because it smells so good, and now I get it. Freaking junkie. But yeah, yeah, Blue. There was lead and paint, and still there's still food, baby bottles. Go find everything lead, Eric, everything lead. I don't know which way. It's either one or the other. And he has pretty interesting videos on it. He can tell you a lot more about it. Plus, once they stopped suing him, because he developed a very easy spray. If you want to find out if you have lead-based paint in or around your house in the States, I don't know what it's like here, you have to get a professional who has this gun or something that can measure the lead in paint by, I don't know how it works, but it costs so much money. He has a spray, and you spray it, and if it glows up like toxic waste, it's lead. They sued him. So he's currently not selling those anymore. The Netherlands tried to sue him as well. I found him in his early days, so I'm really quite up to date on what's going on. But once he is done being sued, because he's in the right, he sells sprays it's literally just spray and black light, and then it glows. And also, coincidentally, at the height of lead poisoning, there were a lot of serial killers. Interesting. I will join you, Shrek. I mean, not on the hunt necessarily, but I will gather berries. You can have the meat though. I don't want the meat. Fun fact, the reason most of the world started moving away from wallpaper to painting was because it gave them more privacy from... What? This is no longer possible since the lead has been regulated. Oh! Yeah, that's true! Oh, I gotta think about that a little bit more. The Sicilian Mafia solution to pineapple on pizza is to find the guilty pizza chef and unload them into... Oh, no! There will be no more pineapple on the pizza! I can't In Redneck, Canada, it's cool to remove your muffler off your vehicle everywhere you go around here. All your smell is pure exhaust from the vehicles. What? In Canada? In Canada? Oh, you're so nice over there. There's more trees. There's more trees. That's it. Trees filter the air and water. So I guess that's it. Yes, Gabriel, microplastics. Oh, I have not dared to go into that rabbit hole because I will actually die. I'm not even kidding. I have trouble eating as is. So, but that is horrifying. Like, I saw a bit about chicken nuggets from that clown. Oh, no. Hi, Minecraft. How are you doing? Explains my killer impulses. Nope. It's true. No, that actually, it really does explain. If you look into the symptoms of what happens if you have lead poisoning, certain people in the U.S., not calling any names, but you might be able to guess who I'm talking about here, is a prime example of lead poisoning. It's insane. But it explains everything, really. Well, not everything, because there's a whole lot of you still have a heart. Do you? Do right? Loop. You with your huskies, I don't believe it. No, but Ted Bundy also, yes. No, actually, if you look at the lead and you look at the serial killers, it's so fascinating. I love statistics. I'm talking about Code Orange. Code Orange is really just a walking example of lead poisoning. I forage. That's the word. Some of my food because it's cheaper, but I get my meat from the store. That's great, Trek. I love that. I wish I could. I'm too distracted. I want everything. It's not good. Right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna eat because I really all I have to do is boil some spaghetti and then I'm done. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have some dinner. Thank you so much for being here. Please remember that love is stronger, all right? And I will say that with anger. Love, damn it. No, seriously, choose kindness. Choose to be better. Choose to be the best of yourself. For you, for the future, for your possible offspring, so they don't have to be ashamed of you when they open their history books. Think for yourself. You can do it. Ask questions, even if you get bullied for them, especially when you get bullied for them. And I'll be here tomorrow, right? Look at the schedule, see what that means. Because we have changed it a little bit. I love you. Let's take one more sip of water. Or a few, because I'm a bit thirsty. All right. Be careful, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.